Hey everybody, this is Bo back in the Sports Lounge. Do a shout out to the 1.5 million listeners we have all over this world and the military bases that make this happen, especially Afghanistan. We got a lot of love from them right now. As we go forward today, we get an opportunity to talk to Casey Brewster from Sacred Heart University Wrestling. Sir, thank you.
Hey, how you doing?
Good, Coach. Good. How's your week been going so far?
It's starting out well. I'm excited. Putting in a lot of hours and getting ready for a good season, hopefully.
Wrestling is one of those few programs that when you say it's a 12-month-a-year dedication every single season, it pretty much is. Football, you do have some downtime. In wrestling, you absolutely do not have any downtime at all.
No, you don't. If you want to make those gains, you got to work all year long and in the off season and get a good preseason under your belt to get ready for that season. So
now you had the opportunity to go to Fort Lauderdale, meet with all the bigwigs in wrestling, considering your program is one of those programs that is always talked about. What was the high point for your visit to Fort Lauderdale?
The high point was, talking about where wrestling is going and, what we need to do to better our sport and keep it moving in the right direction. These programs, we need to find out how to save the programs and continue to build on the sport, that's the oldest and greatest sport. Just learn from other coaches what they're doing and help better your own program.
The one element we enjoy in wrestling is the fact that it changes so much from year to year, from power to speed to power, back and forth. What is kind of the message this season that you've seen across the board and kind of the focus as the students step onto the mats?
Well, for us, it's trying to get our older guys to help out our younger guys. Those incoming freshmen that, might struggle the first month of the season, and just to help them stay positive. Like you said, weight training, conditioning and technique are, all three aspects of the sport that you need to have. And, we're really focusing right now on our conditioning and lifting, and we'll get to the technique and everything like that once we get closer to competition and, into our swing of things. So, but, getting adjusted to this new qualifying system is a big thing as well right now, with the RPI type things and, just finding out how the NCAA is going to, pick those qualifiers. Everybody's getting used to that. So,
yeah, I think the APR is for programs that have a billion kids on them. It's not a big deal, and I think the NCAA needs to look at that and change some attributes. Even basketball has a little bit easier than wrestling program. Wrestling, you've got to take the top kids, not just the top athletes, but the top academic students, because you can't afford one APR. That's it. Done. Your season's over if that happens. That's a lot of stress for you.
Yes, it is. Being at a small private school, it is a big thing. And, I hate it when people say APR is the reason why sports got dropped, which I don't agree with. When you're recruiting now, you got to be really careful of the kids that you're bringing in on money, because if things don't work out or circumstances happen, then that's going to hurt you in the long run. They look at it you got a 4-year plan that, you might have a good year, then you might have a bad year, but you really got to keep on top of your kids now. And NCAA is holding coaches and programs liable and responsible for the kids that they're bringing in. I think it's different for, a small school like us that costs a lot more money than a state school does. And, people that have more scholarships or, a little bit, it helps them out a little bit more than the not fully funded programs, I'll say.
Absolutely.
They need to reevaluate things. The 2.6 transfer, when kids transfer, it helps, but when kids might get homesick, economy's hurting us. So those are things that need to be reevaluated to me.
Yeah, the one element in the NCAA is they need to hold the football teams. I love football, and I'm not going to be shy about it, but they need to hold the football programs at the same percentage as the wrestling, basketball teams, because swim teams got a huge following. Track teams are very deep. And what happens is typically the basketball and wrestling programs are always under fire, particularly the wrestling program. And, with the recent, just talks about moving it from the March Madness of basketball into their own setting, on the outset it sounds great. Unfortunately, it might decimate the D3s and possibly the D2s if the move goes through without proper media attention from the NCAA.
Yeah, I mean, there's a lot of thinking that needs to go in before, things start changing. If you change things around too much, then, that becomes a headache and everything like that. So, we'll see what, transpires here with all that, see what the NCAA thinks and, what the athletic directors think about us switching and everything like that. So, you're right. It might hurt, some schools, D1 schools and D2 schools rely on wrestling, different competition, different levels of competition. If you can't face those, then who are you going to schedule?
Absolutely. And see, there's the biggest problem there is that the Arena Football League, which a lot of us did follow, and I will admit out of the box, I loved Arena Football more than the NFL. When the NFL decided to buy the Arena because it was so successful, they changed the schedule. And what happened to the Arena Football? It is now gone, disappeared, no hope of returning. And that's what I'm afraid of what's going to happen in wrestling if they make too many moves. I was originally supporting it. Now, talking to Flow Wrestling, and they outlined some other ideas, is that it needs more awareness because a basketball guy isn't going to automatically follow wrestling, but somebody interested in wrestling would definitely move from basketball into the wrestling program. But I think the NCAA needs to put their money where their mouth is and support this juggernaut sport.
Exactly. I can't remember the total numbers of programs that we've lost in the last 20 years, but it's, you start doing moves that are eventually going to cost other schools or programs. So,
yeah, and I think the other element,
get things under control, I think we need to keep things the same.
Yeah, and I just think there needs to be more TV cameras. I think the schools need to hire someone who's going to volunteer and help promote the sport online so we can start watching some of these athletes. And a lot of schools have a lot more wrestling programs online for people to follow and get excited about what they're seeing. And the elements of wrestling, and we're going to migrate to wrestling now, Coach, the elements of wrestling I think are so important is the technique, the physicalities, and the force and speed. It is a graceful sport when you look past the fact that it's called a combat element. It is so intense and so perfect when it's done right.
Oh, yes. Oh, yeah. There's nothing like seeing two people going at it, and it's just one-on-one. People that have been training hard. It's awesome to watch, competing in it and having people watch you and just get on that stage to where it's just you and that one guy going at it for 7 minutes in a grind, just battling each other, not giving an inch, not backing down. That's what wrestling's all about.
And the other thing is that we need to stop talking about low scoring because a lot of people equate low scoring to a pitcher's battle in baseball, a defensive duel in football, and in soccer, well, we'll leave soccer there because a lot of people have different opinions on it. But wrestling, they need to talk about the fact of the talent of these guys because from the lower weight limits to the heavyweights, you've got some studs. Now, speaking on that, who are those studs in your program that are the upperclassmen that are stepping forward and really defining so far this early in the season? And then follow that up with some of the freshmen and some of the underclassmen that are looking really optimistic in your eyes.
Okay. At 125, we have Pat Feely, who's going to be a junior, who is a junior national champion. We have, we redshirted him last year. 133 will be Justin Blander. He's a transfer from Old Dominion. We're looking for big things from him. At 141, we have Corey Dunn, who was at 33 last year, that had a really good season, but became ill right before conferences, so he couldn't compete. We did lose Chris Davis at 141, who had a great year, who finished fourth in our conference. 149 is Anthony Priori, who's a junior, who had a tremendous season. We just got to put it all together. I'm looking for big things from those four guys down in low weights that, could be national qualifiers. Upper weights, we have some redshirt juniors for leadership in Brandon Lapp and Rick Eichenlob. We're looking for good seasons from them. We have a freshman coming in that is really going to help the program, TJ Neihart from Long Island Shoreham Wading River, who was finished up second last year in New York State and was a two-time high school All-American. So he's going to help us out right there in the middleweight. So, we're excited. We've got a good, solid lineup, and, we're going into my third year, so the guys are used to me now, and so they know my expectations. So
awesome. Hey, guys, Casey Brewster from Sacred Heart University. We're going to keep track of the program and get him on another month. Would that be okay, Coach?
Sounds great.
Absolutely. We're off the air. One moment, Coach.